Hey, what's wrong with you, man? You ain't subscribed yet? IUIC Atlanta Burning 2.0. What you waiting on? Get it done, do it now.
Hey, get them clicks, get them likes, and subscribe. Do it now.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High Christ bless. We back at it again with another edition from Cuts. All right, we got a good one for y'all this time. All right, we touching on the FBA, Foundational Black Americans, the movement that's going on. Pretty much it's a division that's trying to happen amongst our people, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know, us spreading the diaspora. So we here to see what our people think about it, you know, the movement that's going on. If they don't know about the movement, we're going to tell them about the movement, what's going on, all right? Most High Christ bless. We back at it again with another edition. I'm Eli. Who do I have with me?
Oliver.
Blake.
Gerald.
Jim.
I'm Tamar.
And
I'm Asia. Love.
Jaden Gibson.
So where you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, that'll lead me right into the topic that's going on right now. It's called FBA, Foundational Black American.
The name, FBA.
Yeah.
As initials, it doesn't even really flow well. Mm-hmm. And then when you actually say fundamental Black American, foundational,
yeah,
it's, they see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's so, what is it about that such a difficult to remember collection of words that caused you to be comfortable to rest right there versus keep thinking it through and come with something else?
Yeah, foundational Black American, I use that term because it's a term that can't be remixed. See, people can kind of remix other terms, like African American. That doesn't describe the people of the lineage here. We come from a specific lineage, descendants of slaves, descendants of freedmen. We are the foundation of America. So if you say a person is an African American, an immigrant from Nigeria who comes over here is an African American. Charlize Theron, who was from South Africa, she's an African American. So a lot of people can remix African American. People can remix Negro. People can remix colored. So a lot of these terms that were used to describe us, a lot of people can latch on to it, and that's been a problem. Foundational Black American is a term that cannot be remixed. You're only talking about one group. There's only one group of Black people who built this country from scratch, and that is us, the descendants of freedmen, foundational Black Americans.
I wholeheartely disagree, and I think it's just stupid, man. Because here's my thing: it's 2025. You know, we've all sat and had the argument about black versus white, where you're from, where you've been to, all that stuff. We've all had these arguments before.
Okay.
But being a first-generation immigrant, I moved here when I was 4 from Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
In America, you're either white or you're black.
If I told y'all, or if I asked y'all, what are the requirements for deserving reparations, what would you say?
Being a black American.
A Black American, what about you?
Descendants of slaves.
The descendants of slaves. So are so-called Black Americans the only people who had family members in slavery and deserve reparations?
Nah, but I believe like other governments also, like I feel like for Haitians, maybe like France could pay them off because I know they're still in debt to France. So I feel like the American government needs to focus on like their black population, and then they can branch out. Like black people get first priority, then other groups.
Honestly, I think any type of people with African American heritage, or at least African heritage.
Okay.
Yes, that came to this country by slavery.
Okay, so you believe Hispanics, Native Americans, same?
Of course, Native Americans already get reparations for it. Hispanics should get reparations for it. Anybody that built this country should get reparations for it, because I honestly believe white supremacy is still a thing. We see it in our government. We see it nowadays all the time. So that is say they start off at the top. So black people or any type of minorities have to slowly work their way up. So I definitely think we should get reparations for what we're doing in this country.
And, you know, like you said, in the eyes of the white man, they see us all as being the same. So this is of movement. So based off everything you're saying, you disagree with what this movement is about.
I don't think that there should be a distinction between black Americans and like an islander or a black person from Africa.
Okay.
But with that being said, Africans from Africa and islanders do not want to associate with black Americans. That's just how it is.
Why is that?
Why is that? If I say the reason, there's going to be a lot of people behind that camera jumping down my throat.
No. This is what we want, because that's one of the reasons why the movement was started, because of that.
In my opinion, this is the differentiation.
Okay.
In the Caribbean societies and in other colonial societies, keep in mind this is all colonial societies. Trinidad only relatively recently got its independence from Britain. The same could be said for a lot of countries in Africa.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
France, Belgium, you could go on and on.
Even China has a part.
Exactly. So that being said, a lot of people that come from those backgrounds of colonial rule, they have backgrounds that include things like how to eat with a fork and knife at a table properly. Right. They have things like it's just a certain subset of societal standards that they operate differently on than black Americans.
Right.
And like, I'm truly sorry to say it, and I don't want to offend anybody when I say it, but black Americans, bro, we got work to do. Somebody needs to grab y'all up and spank y'all on your ass, because there's a lot of entitlement, a lot of gross ass behavior. There's no focus on the family structure. There's no focus on education. There's no focus on skills, and that's black Americans.
I think, honestly, like, the Haitians do their own stuff, but, like, if it's talking about America, just those with descent of, like, you know, slavery and stuff, I feel like just be descendants of slaves, because they're the really ones that got affected and stuff.
So nobody else?
Nah, bro.
So y'all think only black Americans, right? Yeah. Okay, now, let me get the script. I'm going to get Job chapter 20, verse 18. Come right here. Yeah, okay. Read what you got.
Job chapter 20, verse 18. That which he labored for shall he restore.
So that which he labored for shall he restore, meaning these lands today, they were owned before the colonizer, which is the white people.
Right.
I'm gonna complain. The white people, before they took it, it was owned by people. It was owned by the nation of Israel. Right? Read again.
That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down.
He's not going to be able to benefit from it, meaning he has to restore or give reparations to the people that he stole it from. Read.
According to his substance shall the restoration be.
Restitution
be, excuse me. And he shall not rejoice therein.
And it's going to tell you why. And it's going to say exactly what y'all said. Read.
Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor.
Because he oppressed and forsaken the poor. Who's oppressed today?
Black Americans.
Black Americans?
Us.
And is it just black Americans? I'm going to give you an example. Right now, who's getting kicked out of the country?
Hispanics,
right?
Yeah.
You don't think that they should receive some sort of justice for that when they were here first?
Because before the African Americans was over here getting put in slavery, what was going on? Y'all know? Who was here first?
The natives, right?
But you said black's supposed to get it first, but the natives was here.
They got Yellowstone.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
They got the national parks. They already got their reparations, I thought.
Yellowstone?
Yeah, they got like...
That's a national park, but do the Native Americans don't live in Yellowstone National Park?
True. At least they got some. What we got?
So, well, I am Native American. So with being Native American, also being black as well, when I look at the history of things that happened, like, they used to literally skin the heads of our people, skin the heads of my ancestors, and also bringing just African people here to sell them. We were literally mules. It's like they treated us as animals.
Are you familiar with Fat Joe? You ever heard of him?
Fat Joe. I think
the rapper.
I've heard of Fat Joe.
Right, from the Bronx, right?
Yo.
So he has beef with them right now.
Let's start by this.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay? It's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority.
So-called, we call them so-called Hispanics because they are black. The only reason why they look a little different than us because they were actually put in slavery before we was.
Those are indigenous African Americans.
Yeah, exactly. That's why they look the way they look. A lot of them look real white. But like if you go to these different countries where they come from, like Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, a lot of them dark. Like they dark like us.
So let's look at it like that because we said Native Americans, but what about like the West Coast, California, Texas? Y'all know who that used to belong to?
Hispanics.
Hispanics.
I feel like, they fought for that and they lost it, so that's kind of out the way to me, personally. That it might be a little ignorant to say, but I feel like they fought for that.
Okay, so you said because they lost a war, they deserve for their spot to pretty much be taken over.
The world ain't fair. That's how it be. Like, because in theory, bro, everyone is owed something, but I feel like you can't pay everything else.
Okay.
Same thing he said. I'm not gonna lie. I agree.
I wanted to show you out of the Bible because we're a Bible-based movement that the so-called Hispanics, the Native Americans, we're all the same people. We're all black people.
No, I 100% believe that because honestly, I truthfully think having reparations and giving them to the black culture is kind of difficult to do because with the transatlantic slave trade movement, you have people dropped off in the South, you have people dropped off in Brazil, you have people dropped off in Central America, and those people didn't go through the same type of adversities that that African Americans went through. So it's kind of hard to give everybody reparations because at the end of the day, we all have the same DNA. We all came from the same continent. So it's kind of hard to give everybody the same type of reparations when we all didn't go through the same type of adversity that our ancestors went through.
And something that y'all said that's very interesting, and the reason I mentioned it is because we went through history, right? We talked about who was here first. Native Americans was on this side. You have the ancestors of the Hispanic Mexicans and the Incas, the Aztecs, etc. were on the West Coast, all before so-called white people got over here, right? But when we talk about reparations, we like to look at it as if black people was the only people going through it. You know what I'm saying? As you look at it. So read what you got for me in Lamentations real quick.
All right, this is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach.
So we're asking God to think about what happened to us as a people, because we can see that, like he said, the Haitians, the Native Americans, the Hispanics, all of us have a big level of hurt. One of the things that we haven't mentioned that's very important is when the ships came and dropped off the so-called African Americans, who do you think they were leaving with? You think the boats left empty? Nah, the boats say leave empty, they left with people on them. And it wasn't African Americans, was it? Nah. So keep reading what you got.
Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
So the inheritance that the Native Americans and the Hispanics had was this land, the Texas, the California, the Arizona, that was theirs. That was before we got here on the slave ships. Not to say we can negate the fact that we was brought over here, but they got a piece of the pie too, you feel me? Read what you got.
Our houses to aliens.
Our houses are turned to aliens. What do the government call people who are here illegally?
Aliens.
Illegal aliens, right? But the Bible is saying that our houses, who had houses here first?
Yes.
The natives. Yeah. They had houses, whether you want to call it a teepee, a hut, whatever you want to call it, they was here first. Keep reading.
We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are widows, or as widows. Mm-hmm. We have drunken our water for money.
Yo, if I want water today, where do I have to go?
A water fountain.
A water fountain. Who owned it?
The government.
The government. You run the government?
Nah, I don't know.
Hispanics run the government?
Nah.
Oh, okay. So it's them aliens that came and took over. They invaded and took over, right?
True.
Right. Finish what you got right there.
Our wood is sold unto us.
So when we want to, the same people that are being kicked out the country right now that we say they don't deserve reparations, they don't get to be a part of it, none of it, they the same ones that we just had finished building our houses, cutting the yard, etc.
Micah 2 and verse 2. Because it's going to show you how America got all the lands that they have today. It's not just America. South Africa, Africa as a whole, actually, as a whole. Where else? South America, the Caribbeans, Haiti, even Haiti. So all these different land masses, right? The people there are suffering, but there's people that are in their land right now that shouldn't be there, technically. Read.
Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that...
Verse 2, sorry.
Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence.
So when you covet something, you want something that doesn't really belong to you. It don't belong to you. But it says they take this by violence. They covet fields. They see Africa over there and say, I see the diamonds, the gold over there. I want it. But the people in Africa, they're not going to say, oh, here you go. Take it for free. No, that's not going to happen. So they take it by violence. Read.
And houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. So even a man and his heritage. Not only are they taking away the land from these people, they're taking away their human rights. Right? They're taking away everything they know as a people. They're taking it from them. And this is only pertaining to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, natives, Haitians. They're referenced to as the Israelites in the Bible.
Some of the things has this recently took a turn for the black Americans, because the black Americans here today wasn't always the way they are now.
No.
At one time before, like in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, they were real strong. We had a real strong infrastructure.
You had Ronald Reagan, and you had the fucking crack epidemic, and you had MK Ultra, and you had fucking the AIDS tests in the hospitals and the prison experiments. Like, yeah, of course you could go on and on and on. And you could say, oh, America did this to its people and that's why we are the way we are now. However, if you're not from here, this is what I'm saying. If you're not from here, you don't know the kind of shit that's been done similarly in other countries that they're not speaking about.
Okay.
So, like, you could say America did all this bad shit to its people. Belgium did a whole bunch of bad shit to the people in the Congo.
Absolutely.
Right?
You said Shalom, Israel. Hey, we had a lot of interesting interviews, man. A lot of our people, you know, a lot of them was against FBA, which is a good thing. You know, that's a new movement that's going to come to naught anyway. It's just plan to, you know, divide, you know, the 12 tribes of Israel. But we had a few interesting interviews. Any interviews that y'all remember that sparked anything that y'all remember?
The main one that sparked some interest was the two young men that Soldier was dealing with. At first, they believed that, you know what I'm saying, Northern Kingdom or the Hispanics really shouldn't get none in return. But the Soldier was able to show them otherwise. So.
Okay. You had something? Anything you saw?
Brother that the officer was dealing with had a lot of good information. You could tell that the brother was very concerned with the state of our people. You know what I'm saying? He could readily see that what'd he say? African Americans need somebody to put a foot up their ass. Most High gonna get us right. So, Lord's will, as we know in our affliction, we gonna repent. So.
All right, so Shalom, Israel. This was a real good episode. All right, make sure y'all stay tuned. Shalom.
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.